our Avan Aspire 555 hardtop review. We've had the van, it'll be 2 years in February. Basically, we're happy with the van. There are a few issues and disappointments with it. We'll discuss that as we go through the review. But there were 4 main reasons why we picked the Avan when we did. First one being?
The price.
No. That it was light. Well, the price came into it, but that it was lightweight and easy to tow.
So less than 1,800 kilos.
Gross weight. Yeah, 1455 tar. So we tow it with a Toyota Kluger hybrid car, and which will tow up to 2 tonnes.
2.5 tonnes.
2.5 tonnes.
In Australia.
In Australia. So the van tows easy. The other things we wanted was that it was Australian made. We wanted one that was made here. We also wanted an ensuite with a separate shower and toilet.
A lot of caravans of that weight capacity, the shower is often over the toilet, just trying to keep the weight down. And we just didn't want to have sit on a wet toilet or drying it up all the time. So that was the reason. And then another reason was we're very happy with the fridge freezer size on this particular van for a very lightweight van.
And we wanted room around the bed. We didn't want a bed that was right up against the wall.
So when we make the bed, we can get access to both sides. Where a lot of caravans, there's only access on one side for many caravans that are built in Australia and overseas.
So that was our reasons. As we said, we're happy with it. We've towed it for over 40,000 kilometres.
Close to 50,000.
Close to 50,000 kilometres. A couple of times across Australia and back, because we're in Western Australia and we've gone over through South Australia, New South Wales, up into Queensland. So it's done a lot of Ks. Twice, yes. And we'll be going again next year, all being well.
Well, electrically, we did an upgrade when we bought the van. So we made sure all the batteries were lithium, and we upgraded to about 250 amp hours of lithium. Just to make you understand, we don't need a coffee machine. We don't drink coffee. Vicky doesn't use a hairdryer. So electrically speaking, we're very frugal. So in that respect, we don't need too much on our roof. Our roof is solar, is about 350 watts. And with the 2 batteries as a reserve, we found that we don't have any issues. We do have 2 gas bottles. It came originally with 1 4.5 gas bottles, but we've upgraded it to 2 9 kilos, and we found that more than enough for our needs, and there's always some in reserve.
Oh, the solar panels. The van came with a 120 watt solar panel. We added another 180. So as Bill said, we've got 300 altogether. So off-grid, we have no issues. We can go. We've found 5 days easily. We've got a grey water tank also. We added on. But it comes with 180 litres, 285 litre water tanks for fresh water. So that was plenty for us to be comfortable for at least 5 days off-grid.
Yeah. So we're basically fairly frugal in our energy consumption and our water consumption. And I guess at a stretch, with our water, we could probably last 6 to 7 days without having to refill. At one stage, we carried a generator, a very, very small, lightweight generator. So when we bought the Caravan, we had two choices. We could either go for a door, which obviously we have to have. Oh, by the way, we put a little rubbish bin here, and that's been really good. It's just a small adaptation that I've built onto it, but that's been fine. And the second door, they wanted $3,000 to put an extra fly screen door in, and then you have
It
this
was
one.
a security door.
Yeah, and this one. So that's what we settled for. I'll just put a little handle here. After 50,000 kilometres, I thought we need a little handle. But that's the door system on the Avan. We're up here. We have the awning, and I've damaged it once already. We were up near Moree, and they're very easy to damage, and we've seen at least one other YouTuber that had a similar problem. So that was an insurance job. It was $600 to replace this, as opposed to $2,000 if you had to do it yourself. The wind catches the awnings and in a severe storm, and it just damages. So unless they're tied down really well, we knew it was a weakness when we bought this van, but that was unfortunately the compromise that we made. This is the system for undoing the awning. It's not the best. There's a lot of others that are worse, but it's a wind-up system. It's all aluminium construction, and because of the weight, that's why they've gone for aluminium, but it can be damaged in high winds. And there's a strip lighting all the way along the van, which we found to be excellent for lighting. So it just clips back in, and that's it locked in. There's lots of room in these hatchets for keeping equipment, and we do. On the front of the van, originally there was a 4.5 kilo bottle, and we upgraded it to the 2 9s, which we have found to be most adequate. And here, because of stone chips, which we didn't have at all, we decided to put on this front cover, and we found it's really good for insulation properties, are excellent, and keeps the van cooler and warmer depending on the season. Little table set up. I'll be very honest, we've hardly used it, but it's there if you're sitting outside and relaxing and you need an extra table. Most caravans have these, or newer caravans. We also have a power outlet as well as a TV point. So I guess you could put your television, for those people that are into TV, while they're on holidays. It's not for us, but we've got the extra. On the rear of the van, I've put this bracket on, and we normally carry just 10 litres of fuel, and that's more than enough to get us out of trouble wherever we've been in Australia. It's just the ability to know that if things go wrong, we've still got an extra fuel capacity. To a camera on the back, so that you can, if you're reversing in a tight spot, it's possible to see where you're going. And here, we just want to have a bit of fun. We've put a little decal on with a caravan and pine trees and stars, and we'll probably put some more along this side. Just a fun thing. So that's our caravan front to rear. Storage wise, it's been really good, and even towing with our hybrid car on the Kluger, if you put your foot down, it takes off like a rocket. Even if you're doing 80 k's an hour, you put your foot down. So the towing, there's no problems with towing with that particular vehicle at all. In fact, it's probably a little bit too light at times in high winds, that's what we went for, and that's what we've got.
All right, so this is the bedroom area. I must say in this van we have plenty of storage. Plenty of storage. We don't fill it all up, even when we're travelling for months on end. We still have some room, which is good because I often buy things while we're away. So this is the hanging space. Charge areas above the lights, the lamps on the bed. Sorry, I'll just go back in the cupboard, and also at the back of the cupboard there's two. And it's repeated on the other side, obviously. And then there's more USB charging points just here, the kitchen area. Got lovely big windows. We've got the skylight and what we call the Hollywood lights, because they're so bright. You'll see later about the covering, the canvas cover we put on the front of the van. And so that was for a couple of reasons. Keeps the stones off the window, or protects the window a bit more. Also, I like to sit up in bed and read, and the screens aren't the strongest, which I'll show you shortly. And so I didn't want to be leaning against the screens. And it also insulates the van a little bit as well, because the canvas cover does have a backing on it, so it keeps it quite insulated. We also have these little cupboards down beside the bed. The one on my side has had issues with the little basket. I've just seen a spider. The brackets broke, so we had to have that fixed several times. We've also got these shelvings up above near the front door. Handy for hats and shopping bags and the tissues. There's Doctor Who guarding the door. And this is the dining area. Again, plenty of storage. This is where we keep our pantry items above here. One area we have been disappointed in is the upholstery on the chairs. You probably can't notice it as much as we do, but the chair there is the back of it. Cushion is sunk down. The fronts of the cushions also sank, is that the right word? Bent downwards. So Bill actually put in some plywood underneath the seat, and then velcroed the cushion to it just to give it a bit more support. So that has been a disappointment. When we ordered the van, we were offered the other L-shaped lounge or chairs with the table. In hindsight, it might have been better. When the table is out, it's a bit awkward to get in and out, or maybe we're just too big. So again, he put the plywood there. And we've got this little cubby hole down there that keeps our travel scrabble. More shelving up there. And then the the 12 volt port and the TV bracket. We don't carry a TV with us in the van. We really don't watch any TV when we're at home. And the few things we do watch, we can watch on iView on our laptops. Down here there's a bit more shelving. As I said, there's plenty of shelving and storage. We've got some inverters and the modem. And this is the switches for our hot water system, for when we're on electric, or gas when we're off grid. The gas one heats up really quickly. We made an adjustment to the sink. Bill put this bit of piping on because it was just, the water splashed everywhere when you turned the tap on, so that just keeps it more directed into the sink. And we also put on these self-adhesive tiles. They were just a couple of dollars from the big green shed, and they just protect that bit of the wall from splashes and dirt and grease and from the stove. Another thing we weren't, or I'm still not terribly happy about, is the stove. It's flimsy, I suppose is the word. It is really hard to clean. The coating on the stovetop has come off, and in the grill the coating on the grill stand has also come off. But you work with what you have. We would have preferred something sturdier. There is an exhaust fan with a light. And this is our electrics panel. We have also had problems with this. It has had to be replaced. I don't know what went wrong, to tell you the truth, but the fault light came on, and the guys at Avan Bunbury rang the projector people in Melbourne, and they said, oh, that never happens. Well, it happened. So we had to have the panel replaced. Right, another little cupboard, which we thought would be too small to fit anything in, but it works quite well, really. We can fit plenty in here, more grocery items for storage. This is our fridge, which is a great size. Has the freezer as well as the fridge section. Just has these great little latches so that you can keep it open when it's not in use, not let it go all mouldy. And that's the fridge. I did get that plastic tray in the middle there, and it just helps things not to, if you've got smaller jars and things, not to roll around so much and go flying when you open the doors. It's a three-way fridge, and it also had some issues the last time we went away. When we were off-grid, the gas wouldn't come on, then the panel would stay on. Anyway, again, the guys at Avan Bunbury rang the Thetford distributors, and they said, oh, that never happens, but it did. And so we had the panel on the fridge replaced. We have a microwave. I don't use that very often because we do a lot of off-grid camping. Do have an air conditioner, reverse cycle air conditioner, and it works well. You can't run it for too long, but it's effective enough for us. We don't have a diesel heater because we don't like them. But one thing we do have in winter is a 12-volt electric blanket, and that works so well, just warms the bed up nicely, and you don't want to get out of bed when it's -4 degrees and there's ice on the door. And this is the bathroom. That's the exhaust fan. And the basin, there's big bench space there, and again, plenty of storage. These shelving sections over here were just bare shelves, so Bill put on the little panels of wood, and we just bought these baskets from Kmart for a couple of dollars, and that's given us extra storage. That's for the extra things. There's a cartridge toilet and a separate shower, and of course you always travel with the shower head in a bucket to keep it a bit protected so it doesn't go flying off. A slide across door, which, to be honest, we don't slide across that often because it's really hard to clean, and we find that just adjust the shower nozzle in the right way, you don't have water going everywhere. Find it essential to have a mat in the doorway and on the step to catch all the dirt that comes in with you from you staying in different places, even in caravan parks. I have another one in the bathroom. When we've been away and it's been cold, the floor does get quite cool, so it's just adds that little bit more insulation. I'll just show you the blinds. So you pull down for the fly screens, and again they're very soft and delicate, so you do have to be careful with them, and pull up for the blinds, which are really good block-out blinds. When they're closed, we get very little light in here. And talking about storage, there is more under the bed, of course. It's also where our batteries are. So this also opens up from outside. We have our chairs in there and the chocks and electrical equipment, extra linen. In this box we've got a little turbo oven that we use. We've used it. We've got a little generator that works a turbo oven if we're off grid and we want to bake. And there's, plenty of storage. I'll give you a couple of little tips. I bought this little brush, probably just out of Coles, I think. And it's really good for just cleaning these really delicate fly screens. Just brushes the dust out, really. And another tip is to always leave the plug in the shower, just so that water doesn't back up out of the grey water system, or when you're emptying the kitchen sink, sometimes it can run back if you're not level, or if the back of the van's lower than the front. So we've found that always leaving the plug in the shower, when we're not using it, of course, and then putting something with a bit of weight over it just to hold the plug down, stops any dirty water coming up into the shower. Learned by experience. Thanks for watching. Please leave any comments or questions in the comments section below.